Hello and welcome to the Wonders of Wetlands short course. It's a 3-week course we'll be doing online. I'm your instructor, Megan O'Neill, and I've been teaching science for 10 years, and before that I was an environmental consultant dealing with actually going out and investigating wetlands and pollution problems in them. So I've got a great deal of history associated with wetlands, and I'm going to bring up some examples of how they're applied to everyone's lives and how important they are to each and every one of us. There are 60% of the entire global population is actually within 50 miles, living within 50 miles of coastline. And this is where we find the majority of wetland areas, is along these coastline areas. So there, because of the population, the development has had a huge impact on these areas. And so that is one of the biggest threats. We're going to set up the course learning about what the different types of wetlands are, including swamps, marshes, bogs, and what the difference is between those. And then we are going to move into the second part of the course, which is looking at particular wetland areas, estuaries, and actually go on a virtual field trip of the estuary areas. One is in our backyard. If you're here locally in Alabama, it's called Weeks Bay National Estuarine Research Reserve, and there are only about 25 national estuarine research reserves throughout the nation, so we are very fortunate in having this resource right in our backyard. And we will be going on, like I said, a virtual tour, and we will also be learning about some of the threats with these areas besides development because of the human population. There's also things like the oil spill that happened or the BP oil disaster that happened a couple of summers ago, and the impacts that it has on these wetland areas. And not only that, but the pollutants other pollutants that can impact these areas. They're vital for marine life, and so if you enjoy spending time on the ocean, on or around the ocean, then you should definitely know about these areas, because 90% of the ocean species, fish species, have these areas as their nurseries. So they provide nutrients for these organisms. They also provide protection for these organisms that are ocean species. And then we're going to learn not only the things that can impact them and the downside to what humans do to these areas, but we're also going to learn the future things that we can do to help, because that's one of the most important things, is not just the negative sides and all these terrible things that are happening, but what can you and I do personally to help these areas, and what things wetland banks are, and also how wetland restoration activities occur, and why those are very important. So come along with me on a tour of wetlands, and I know that you'll learn a lot, and if you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me, and I'll be glad to help you. And thanks so much for being with us.